I said to myself, why would I spend $200 on something that doesn't even play outside the house? What, what we're going back to the Wii U again? What's going on? Boy, was I wrong. I was completely wrong about this, guys. Let me tell you. My son had been telling me about his enjoyment of his, and he came by and stopped over the weekend to visit. And man, I am sure glad that I was wrong about this, and I listened to him. We were at the game store. I traded in some duplicate games. Believe it or not, I have a bunch of duplicate games. So I just grabbed a stack, took him out there, and I think I ended up paying like $91 for it. So I got a bunch of store credit. They had like double store credit day, so that's how I was able to purchase this. And let me tell you, I was so wrong. Let me tell you all the negatives that I thought about. Number one, the controlling scheme. It's so separated. How is that going to feel good? Because you've seen those emulation machines that sort of look like a Portal out there, but with a PlayStation controller. That's what I was imagining. I was thinking, well, I mean, if I'm only going to play around the house, why wouldn't I just play on my PlayStation, right? I mean, those are the kind of thoughts I was having. And now that I have it, let me tell you, I was completely wrong. First of all, I have my PlayStation hooked up to the big TV because, that's the one with a better resolution. I want to take advantage. I want my games to look amazing, right? But the problem is, a lot of times the families up there, they're watching their things in prime time, and I've been working so long that I just want to come home, take a shower, go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just lying there in bed. I've been playing my mod retrochromatic. Right, I've been playing a lot of Game Boy games, and once I got this, man, let me tell you, the gameplay experience was a lot better than what I thought. It really was. There was, at least here in the house, and let me start saying this: I have my PlayStation is hardwired to my router, right? So I get pretty good, and I have a pretty good internet connection. Whatever the top is, that's what I get because I know everybody in this house is streaming or doing something on the tablets, on the phone. So we go with a big package, but I haven't had any issues, and I started the first game that I started. I wanted to go, play online. So my favorite online games that I told you guys is Helldivers, and I played Helldivers, no issues, no issues whatsoever. And I'm in my bedroom, the router's in the living room, not a single stutter, nothing, man. It just flowed. And then after that, I started playing Death Stranding. The same thing, man. Just smooth gameplay. And let me tell you, these past few months that I've been working a lot, in school and everything, a lot of the games that I've bought for my PlayStation that I've been trying to get to, I haven't been able to because I haven't had the time. And, sometimes when I did have the time, somebody else was watching the TV and I wanted to play on the big TV. Like I said, I don't want to connect my PlayStation anywhere else, to tell you the truth. And this has allowed me to start playing that backlog, right? So if you have a backlog that you want to sample the game first before you want to get in there, or you have digital downloads, let me tell you, the ones that I have for retro games, this is not digital, I have the physical, but the Kawabunga collection plays amazing on here, guys. And I can see how I'm going to be using this to play my retro games, while I'm going to sleep. And the screen resolution, is amazing for what it is, right? I'm not going to tell you it's not 4K or anything like that, but it's pretty good. It's a pretty good experience. It's better. I can tell you the screen resolution on this is a lot better than my regular Switch, and the controller scheme is way better than the Switch. Let me tell you that. One of the things that I was always disappointed me about the Switch are those controllers, man. They just don't feel quality. They're very thin. They're kind of flimsy, and it's because of the nature of the console, right? But still, those controllers never impressed me. I have to say, Even though it might be the most popular, you know, Nintendo product ever, the Nintendo Switch is my least favorite Nintendo console, right? Because it just has been. You know, it has a lot of great games. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but I prefer to play it with a Pro controller, right? With regular controllers. I don't like the Switch. But here, guys, the gameplay with this, oh man, it's dead on. And I thought I really was gonna have an issue with the controllers being so separated. You know, not at all. I'm enjoying my games. They're flowing. They're playing great. And let me tell you, I am glad. I am absolutely glad that I was wrong about this product, because it's just enhancing my Game Station 5 play. Right up to this point, I felt a little underwhelmed by the PlayStation 5. There's great games out there. I'm not going to say there isn't, but it just hasn't felt like other generations. And part of it, of course, is that, you know, these games are so long. You know, games used to be 20 hours tops, you know, like 25 hours. And now you have games that 100 hours. You're like 80 hours. Oh my God, you know, and you have to invest so much time in them before you get that payoff, right? Before the game ends, and if it even ends. And then on the other spectrum, you just have these online games that you play forever and they have no ending. But for those of us who enjoy those, you know, 10, 15, 20, 25-minute playthroughs, just because we have a busy day, because we're working and all of that, man, let me tell you, for those of you, I recommend this, you know, and probably the reason that I was hesitant for this console, because, you know, my favorite Sony handheld will still and forever will be my PSP, right? I compare everything to that, and the great times that I had with the PSP, you know, taking it everywhere, right? And this is not that, right? I mean, you could do that with cloud gaming if you decide to go that way. But I think the better fit for me, at least for this console right here, is to catch up on my backlog, play at home, sample those games that I've been wanting to play just before I go to bed, because I don't have a lot of time, guys. And if you're like me and if you're pressed for time, I think this is a great way to go. As far as the gameplay experience, that it might seem that the joysticks are too separated, don't even think about it. Let me tell you, it's a pretty good experience. And handling it on Death Stranding and Helldivers, playing the Kawabunga collection, playing my Shin Megami Tensei Raidu, it's just played flawless. Persona just flows. I'm telling you, this is an underrated product, you know, and a lot of people have judged it wrongly, including myself. And it goes back to that saying that I always have, you know, I'd rather experience some things before, you know, I do a final you know, opinion on them, because, you know, I might not like something off the get-go, but that doesn't mean it's not a good product. Maybe it's just not for me. This product I thought wasn't for me, but you know what? I was dead wrong. If you love the PlayStation, and I mean if you really love the PlayStation, and you have a huge backlog that you want to get through, this is your best friend right here, guys. All right, humans, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.